The Real Investment Show.
Welcome to our last segment. We hope you all have a very restful weekend. Just don't fall asleep in the yard here in Texas, because you're going to wind up like one of the tops of those solar lights.
Or dead.
Burned to a crisp. Burned to a crisp. When I take those solar lights out of the box, I can hear them go, "No! No, don't do it!"
Amazon drops them off. They scream. We had wrong address.
Wrong address. Oh, my God, man, it's been hot. Let me just tell you. How hot has it been? No, but it's been.
It's been so hot, my electric bill doubled in 1 month.
Yeah.
No changes to the thermostat, just doubled in 1 month.
Well, because your AC doesn't stop.
Right.
It's. Well, you got to keep that puppy cool.
And that was only May.
Yeah.
I haven't got June's bill yet.
Oh, yeah, in June. Man, it got so much hotter this year, so much quicker.
And that haze out there, is that still the
Saharan dust.
Is that still the dust?
Yeah.
It makes it even feel even more.
You can hear it in my voice.
But you get naturally exfoliated, when you walk outside.
Yeah, you sure do. It is brutal. What are they saying, that if people who just moved to Texas, we still have the summer to come. So we're in preheating.
The warm-up act. No pun intended.
Although I can't imagine it being hotter in August than it is right now.
Well, stick around, Rich.
You've been here how long?
Well, I want to go to the Luling Watermelon Thump in a couple of weeks, and it's usually like 111.
Yeah, you may.
I can't imagine till it's like 150.
You might want to crawl inside a watermelon.
The watermelons are boiling. Oh, man. It's hot. It's hot. We're just trying to relate that. So try to stay as cool as possible. Don't watch the news, right? Read a nice book about something else, right? Do something that makes you healthy and happy for Father's Day especially. Do you ever see these cartoons that show what mom gets for Mother's Day, and the kid goes, "I got you candy, I got you this, breakfast in bed," and then it says Father's Day, and the guy's just holding a balloon.
I got you a card.
Socks.
What are you doing for Father's Day,
I have no idea.
Dan? No.
None.
Daddy's here. Daddy's on the phone with clients on Father's Day.
Hey, that may not be too off track.
Too far from the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. If you're upset because I'm late with my iced coffee, just know that it's a much better situation for you than me being on time without one.
Just saying.
Do they make iced coffee for what's that Black Death you drink?
Yes, there is a Death Wish cold brew that you can get.
I have not had. I have not had that one.
Death Wish cold brew, yeah.
My friend Charlie Gasparino, he's on Fox, and he posts on his Facebook page, "I just had this amazing coffee," because he's somewhere else now. I can't remember if he's in Florida. So.
Yeah.
Death Wish.
Ah.
He's like, this is, I guess they don't have it as much in New York.
Well, it is good. I mean,
It's outstanding.
if you like black coffee, doesn't have the acid.
Doesn't need a mug.
Wait a second. Are we doing a commercial?
Yeah, we do.
What's going on?
I'll clip this and send it to him.
And Mr. Black Coffee Company, sir, we do need coffee in our break room badly. We're out of supplies. So if you would like to send us a case, we'll be happy to keep talking about you.
Pay for play.
Hey, listen, nothing's free. So I'm 65 years old, 70 years old, Danny, and I'm withdrawing my money from my portfolio. And I've told that this whole 4% rule is the best thing in the world, even though I'm down 9%, and I'm going to take out another 4%. Or am I going to really possibly look to do something different? Before you answer that, how many calls have you had this week where people were saying, and retirees were saying, and they're very smart, I think I'm going to find a way to cut my withdrawals this year, or at least not increase them. So if you are retired and living off your variable assets, understand You don't take a fixed percentage from variable assets and not examine the environment that you're in.
Yeah, I think people are very intuitive when it comes to this, especially in this type of environment where, I am having a lot of those calls where they're saying, hey, you know what? I'm not taking the trip that I was going to take, or let's just go ahead and make that reduction. We're not,
Yes.
Gas is too high. We're not going to travel by vehicle, or airplane tickets are too expensive. And a lot of times it's people who can't afford it, and they're just saying, you know what? We're going to go ahead. It just doesn't feel right. So we're going to stop a little bit, take a step back, and then we'll revisit it. And so I think that's something, though, Rich, that we need to do on a more consistent basis, not just in light of a bear market or a recession, just to get a better feeling and understanding as far as where money goes, how we're spending it, and to keep us on track. That's one of the bigger problems. And I know, we visit with people, and a lot of times they'll say, well, I don't want to do a plan. Well, why not? Because I don't want you to tell me how much I can live on.
Right.
I want to do what I want to do. Well, okay, fair enough. And I get that and completely understand that.
Well, you know how you do that, Danny. And David Blanchett, one of the best planners out there, said it. You want to spend every dollar that comes in and be mindless to it? Have guaranteed income. Have a guaranteed income product, right? If I get $4,000 a month in guaranteed income, I don't have to worry about my variable assets. I don't have to worry about checking that. I'm going to get a check every month for $4,000, and I'm going to spend it, and I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, I might cut my costs, but I'm not going to look at it the same way I'm looking at a variable asset portfolio. Or if I have guaranteed income and I've done the right thing with Social Security, I can possibly cut my distribution from my investment portfolio, and it won't really affect my lifestyle adversely because I have guaranteed income. And I think, Danny, I may be wrong, but I think more and more investors heading into retirement over the next 10 years are going to look more at guaranteed income vehicles than they are stocks and bonds. That's my prediction.
I agree, because I think in these environments, this is what gives people that kind of that push towards doing something like this. Just like when you have a loved one who's gone through a long-term care event. We see people that call and say, hey, I need to look at this. This is terrible. I'm seeing the cost, or I'm having to go out and do this, or I know we have X amount of money left for my mother or mother-in-law. And then that gives people that big push. Unfortunately, a lot of times when it would be really beneficial is to do it prior to these events.
Yes.
But this is where I believe that as people get emotional, we historically buy things on emotion. So you need to be very cautious. This is where Rich and I always tell people, go back to your plan. What does your plan say? What do you actually need? And not necessarily maybe just want. And it's okay to have a little bit of both.
Yes.
The problem is I was in the car a couple weekends ago, and there's an annuity show on. Basically, the guy said he did a little bit of everything, but it was more or less saying annuities. And he said, "Look, you want to call me and put everything you have in an annuity? Great. You have your 401k. We'll put it all in there." And that's not always the best case. In fact, most of the time, that's probably not the best case.
It's never, like we said about it's never all or none when it comes to investing, even though people want to do that. It's never all or none on how you put together your guaranteed income stream or your overall income stream, right? They used to talk about this three-legged stool: Social Security, pension, and investments, right? But many people don't have that pension leg of the stool. We have two legs of the stool. So you should be still, for most people, looking to create that third leg, that guaranteed income leg. And like you said, Danny, it's a combination of things, depending upon your withdrawal rate, how much you need in retirement. So you'd need all three. The unfortunate part is you have to be responsible. You have to be responsible for creating your own pension. And you don't do that from variable assets. You just don't.
No, but I mean, you can, but it's going to look a little bit different than what most are going to.
Well, you're going to have to
right?
examine your withdrawal rates. You're going to have to look at over your withdrawal. Now, if you're going through a sequence of return storm right now, right, where you're going through a period of time here where you're going to get much lower returns, which I think is happening over the next decade, you're going to have to either do a few things. You're going to have to work longer, reset your expectations, live smaller. If you're just using investment assets to meet your income goals, along with, of course, we always say doing the right things with Social Security and making sure you're planning properly for it. When the whole panacea, the whole world is the 401k is the best thing ever, it's really not. It's really not. It's great to have it, and you should be investing in it, but you need to do other things outside of that. Diversifying your income stream and your accounts is always so important for someone looking to retire.
Yeah, I think that's the big key, right? We talk about what do successful people do. They have those multiple sources of income, and setting it up, you typically want to do that far in advance if you can. And now we are seeing that the access to these types of things is getting better, and it's not just where it's necessarily a one-trick pony. There's lots of different ways to look at these things to really put together a plan that encompasses all of these things, because I think it's really important to have that additional income coming in that's guaranteed, to understand what Social Security looks like,
right?
To understand how you take withdrawals.
Yes.
And in a market environment like this, maybe you do pull back and it's not going to impact you as much because you're doing so with those non-discretionary expenses, or the discretionary, not your non-discretionary expenses.
But it starts with a financial plan to know how your income is going to be derived and how long you're going to live, and do you have enough assets to cover your entire lifespan. Hey, that's our show for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Thanks for sticking with us.
Monday, 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 always Sunday, in the rich man's world. All the things I could do if I had a little money. It's a rich man's world. It's a rich man's world.